Your legs and calves are the foundation of your body, supporting every movement from walking and running to squatting and jumping. A strong lower body not only improves your athletic performance, but also enhances balance, mobility, and overall health. There is actually a correlation to longevity and leg muscles. You know the saying, friends don't let friends skip leg day. In today's video, we'll explore why training your legs and calves is essential, and I'll guide you through a killer workout to build strength and endurance. The legs are powered by some of the largest and strongest muscles in your body. The quadriceps at the front of your thighs are responsible for knee extension. They call them the quadriceps, but you actually have 6 quad muscles because you have 6 nerves, not 4. They are the rectus femoris, the vastus lateralis, the vastus intermedius, the vastus medialis longitudinal, the vastus medialis oblique, and the articularis of Genu. The hamstrings are at the back of the body, and they're essential for knee flexion and hip extension. The glutes, your body's powerhouse for hip movement and stability. And let's not forget the calves, made up of the gastrocnemius and the soleus, which helps you walk, run, and jump. Training these muscles improves functional strength, helps prevent injuries, and boosts your metabolism, since these big muscles burn more calories even at rest. Before you dive into leg day, warming up is critical. Here are some moves to prepare your muscles and joints. First and foremost, warm up with some cardiovascular exercise. Break a sweat. Now, once you finish doing your cardiovascular warm up, now we're gonna start with some movement prep. And this is a really good movement to start with. Knee circles and figure eights. It's gonna work and warm up the hip joints, the knee joints, and the ankle joints. Bring your knees and feet together, bend forward, put your hands down, and just start with tiny, say, counterclockwise movements. And as you get more warm, you can go bigger and bigger. And depending on your orthopedic issues and your health, you might be able to go all the way down and come back up again. And then what I would do is I would switch directions. Now I'm going clockwise, and I'm rolling bigger and bigger, and I'm making sure that my ankles are moving to warm up my ankle joints and come back up. And then you can also do a component of figure eights where we go deep to the front and shallow to the back. And again, depending on the health of your knees, you might be able to squat all the way down and all the way back up again. And then we can switch directions, and we can even do figure eights going from side to side. That movement there is, again, great for the hips, the knees, and the ankles. Now we can also warm up with doing a little bit of leg swings. So holding onto a wall, we could swing the legs forward and backwards. We could do anywhere from 8 to 10 times. And don't forget too, we can also swing out side to side into abduction and adduction. So abductions are my legs coming away, adductions are my legs going across my body. And we want to just go ahead and make sure we do both sides. So leg swings front to back, getting the flexion and extension, and then side to side, getting abduction and adduction, warming up the gluteus medius, the hip muscle, and the adductor on the inside thigh muscles. Now from here, what we can do is we can do some calf raises just to go ahead and warm up the calves. We can go ahead and go up on the toes and down, pull the toes up as well. So heel lifts, toes up, heels up, toes up, heels up, toes up. Just go ahead and warm up the calves. And we're warming up the tibialis anterior, which is the muscle running down the front of the shin. And then to finish off the warm up, let's do air squats. These are great to warm up the entire lower body. Also raises your core temperature. Just go ahead and push the crown of the head to the ceiling, tuck the tail a little bit, push the knees forward and sit. And let's do about 10 to 15 air squats. Again, dropping down as low as you can comfortably. Notice my head's in alignment with my spine. My chin is in and my eyes are down. Let's go 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now that we've warmed up, let's go ahead and get into the leg exercises. Now the first exercise for the legs is going to be the Bulgarian split squat. Now I have a bench sitting behind me. I'm going to turn my body sideways to the camera. I'm going to bring my back foot up on the bench, my right foot. I'm going to hop forward a little bit. Now, I want you to manage your spine. Push the crown of your head to the ceiling. The chin comes in, and do just a little tuck of the tail. Now let your front knee go forward over the toes, letting your back knee drop down to the floor. And again, on this particular move, you can control the range of motion. If you can go all the way down and touch your back knee on the floor, great. If you can't, it's no big deal. So depending on what your goal is, if you're looking to do bodybuilding, I would like you to stay anywhere between 6 and 12 reps. If you're going more after endurance, then we can go 15 reps or more on both sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch sides. Left foot back, right foot hop forward, tuck the tail, push the crown of the head to the ceiling. My goal is to keep a really straight spine. Let the right knee go forward, over the toes, let the back leg drop down to the floor and up. Your knee is allowed to go one fist width over your toes. And again, this is the Bulgarian split squat. And that's your first leg exercise. The next exercise is going to be the deadlift. Now on this particular move, you could choose to do an RDL with the knee slightly bent. You could also choose, if you have a trap bar, to do a deadlift with the trap bar. For this particular video, I'm going to be using just an Olympic bar. Now to do the deadlift safely, I want you to touch your shins against the bar. That's really important. The shins need to touch the bar because the closer the bar is to your body, the less pressure you put on your spine. And now, whether you're using a prone grip or a mixed grip, it doesn't matter. If you're going to be using a mixed grip, just make sure that you switch your grip in between sets. And again, just like the Bulgarian split squat, depending on what your goals are, if you want to stay in that bodybuilding range, anywhere from 6 to max of 12 reps, if you're working more on form and endurance, you can go ahead and go a little bit more reps than that. So again, shins touching the bar. I want you to bend down, get your butt below your chest, grab the bar, pull your shoulders back, the chin is in, the eyes are down, my head is not like this, my spine is straight, and I'm simply gonna drive the earth away from me and my hips come forward. There's no lifting with my back whatsoever. It's all coming from the posterior chain, the glutes, the hammies, the spinal erectors. Now I'm gonna go ahead and bend forward, and as I'm bending forward, I get to about my knees, and then it's simply a sitting position. So again, if I break up the exercise, I'm here, I drive the earth away, I come up, and then when I come down, my knees are soft, the bar is sliding down my thighs, but when I get to my knees, I need to sit, and my butt goes below my chest. And again, shoulders back. Breathe in, activate the core, drive the earth away and your hips go forward. And now I bend, the hips go back. I touch, my hips go forward and my hips go back and down. And that is the deadlift. Now your next move is going to be a step up. You can do alternating or you can do the same leg. Or you can also do it in a sagittal plane, which is stepping straight up. Or I could go more on a frontal plane where I step up to the side. You make the decision. Again, anywhere from 6 to 12 reps on each side. The main thing is I want to manage your spine, push the crown of your head to the ceiling. Chin is in a little bit of a tuck of the tail. I'm gonna step up. And then the key is that I pull myself up through my heel with the leg up on the board. I don't push myself away from the floor with my left leg. And then I switch. I come up, I pull myself up and down. I come up, I pull myself up and down. Again, left up, pull up and down. And one more time, pull up and down. And again, I would shoot anywhere for 6 to 12 reps, and that's your step up. And now we're gonna do heel raises. With the heel raises, we can either focus on the gastroc with the knee straight, or we can do the soleus with the knee bent. Now, speaking of the gastroc, I can actually focus on more of the outer calf or more of the inner calf, depending on how I place my feet. So on the gastroc, I'm just gonna do a simple gastroc, trying to cover all of the gastroc. My legs are gonna be straight. I can hold on to dumbbells. I can use the machine at the gym with the pads on me, and I'm gonna go up and squeeze, and I'm gonna go down slow. Up, squeeze, down slow, up, squeeze, down slow. If I want to work more of the outer calf, I'm simply going to turn my toes in a little bit. And now I feel like I'm spraining my ankle, so I'm pushing my outer ankle bones down to the ground. I'm gonna maintain that, and now I feel that much more on the outer part of my calves. If I wanna work the inner calves, I turn my feet out a little bit, and now I take my inside ankle bones and I push them down to the floor, the opposite of rolling your ankle out, and now I'm gonna maintain that. I'm gonna go up, down, up, down, up, down, and now I feel that more on the inside of my calf. And if I wanna work the soleus, I simply have to keep my knees bent, and yet at the same time, now I'm gonna go up and down on my toes, doing heel raises. Now with the knees bent, now I'm working on the soleus. Now the rule of thumb, if you strengthen a muscle, you need to stretch a muscle. So let's go ahead and we're going to stretch first the quad, specifically the rectus femoris. So if you can't do the position that I'm doing now, you can always just prop your foot up on a ball or a sofa or a bench of some sort. But I'm gonna go on my hands and knees, I'm gonna bring one foot in front, and now I'm gonna take my opposite arm, I'm gonna reach back, I'm gonna grab my left heel. Now the priority would be for me to pull my heel in and touch my butt. Now from here, I'm going to tuck my tail, and now I'm gonna come away from the floor, tuck my chin, push the crown of the head to the ceiling, get my balance, and now if I wanna add the fascia of the upper body, I can do full external rotation, push my palm away. I can even bring my hand up above my head, feeling like I'm stretching that entire fascial line all the way down the front of my body. Now in the myofascial stretches, you're gonna hold each side for 30 seconds. And what it looks like on this side, if I grab my foot, pull my heel into my butt, tuck my tail, come away from the earth, add the upper body or upper body fascia into it by either pushing up or pushing out. And now I hold and breathe for 30 seconds. And this is how we stretch the rectus femoris of the quadricep. And now we're gonna stretch the hamstrings, more specifically the biceps femoris, which is more of one of the problem muscles, I think, when it comes to the hamstrings. So sitting on your butt, bend the leg that you're not gonna stretch straight up to 90. Make sure that heel is straight in line with your sit bone. Let that leg fall open, hold on to your knee. Now pull your big toe up toward your nose and roll the foot in. This knee goes into internal rotation, and I want you to bring this leg slightly across the midline of your body, and that's gonna help stretch the most outer hamstring, which is the biceps femoris. Now we're gonna go as tall as we can, chin is in, eyes are down. I'm gonna try to put an arch in my back. This hand goes on my thigh, palm facing the ceiling, shoulders are level. I'm gonna bring this arm out, play Spider-Man, spread the fingers, pull the wrist back, and now turn your belly button over your thigh and simply go forward. And now the last thing I want you to do is feel like you're pushing your heel into the corner of the room, like somebody's pulling your leg off your body, and oh baby, do I feel that pulling down my outer hamstring. Hold and breathe for 30 seconds. When you're done, slowly relax, switch sides, go ahead and bend this leg straight up to 90. Again, heel in line with the butt. Don't let this leg come across the midline. Let that leg flop open. This leg is straight, so I internally rotate it. Bring the big toe to the nose. Slide this leg slightly across the midline of the body, and I already know that one's gonna pull. This hand goes on my thigh. I erect my spine. I try to give myself an arch in my low back. I play Spider-Man, turn my belly button over my thigh, and now I lead with my belly button and I go forward. Last thing I do is I feel like I'm gonna try to push my heel into the corner of the room, and I hold and breathe for 30 seconds. And this is how we stretch the biceps femoris of the hamstrings. And this is the stretch for the glute max deep fibers. So I'm gonna lie on my back, I'm gonna cross one leg over the other, and now depending on your flexibility, you're either gonna grab behind your thigh or you're gonna grab your knee. If you're not that flexible, you could take a towel or a belt and you could pull your knee into your chest. I'm hopefully not gonna be that tight, so I'm gonna grab my knee, I'm gonna pull my knee into my chest, and then I'm gonna get my head on the ground, the back of my head on the ground. I'm not like this. I got the back of my head on the ground, I pull my knee into my chest, and now I'm gonna push my right knee away from me, and the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sink my tailbone down into the floor, and I'm getting a nasty pull in my right glute max. I'm gonna hold and breathe for 30 seconds. When I'm done, I'm gonna put one foot down, I'm gonna cross my legs, and I'm gonna switch. Again, I'm gonna grab my knee,
I pull my knee into my chest, my head goes on the floor, I push my left knee away from me, and the last thing I do is I sink my tailbone down into the floor and I hold and breathe for 30 seconds. Slowly relax, and that's how you stretch the glute max.
And since we worked the calves, we're going to stretch the calves. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this. I'm just going to choose to do the traditional way where I'm up against a wall. If you just want to globally stretch the calves, put your hands against the wall, bring one foot back behind you, and now go ahead and drive your hips forward. Keep your heel down on the ground until you get a nice stretch in your calf. If you want to stretch the soleus, now from here, all you're going to do is just bend the knee, and now you can get a stretch in the soleus. Again, you're holding each stretch for 30 seconds. If you want to stretch the outer gastroc, I simply am going to take my back foot, I'm going to turn my foot in a tiny bit, pick up my big toe, and I'm going to push my outer my outer ankle bone down to the ground like I'm spraining my ankle. If I want to add the fascia of the upper body into it, I can bring that arm up above my head, and now I feel the stretch in my outer calf. If I want to stretch my inner calf, I turn my foot out a little bit. Now I'm going to sink my inside ankle bone down to the floor, tuck my tail, push the crown of the head to the ceiling. Now drive my hips forward. If you want to add the fascia of the upper body, go ahead and add the arm. But remember, it doesn't matter. As long as you hold each stretch for 30 seconds, you're going to be getting a really good result with stretching the fascia that covers the muscle. Important keys: prioritize form over weight. Always keep your movements controlled. Incorporate both bilateral, like squats, and unilateral, like split squat exercises for balanced strength. And don't skip your calves. Train them 2 to 3 times a week for improved ankle stability and athletic performance. Mix up your routine with body weight, resistant bands, and weights to avoid plateaus. That's a wrap on today's leg and calf workout. Remember, strong legs and calves are the foundation for a strong body. Whether you're an athlete or just looking to move better in daily life, consistent lower body training is a game changer. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more fitness tips and workouts. Until next time, stay strong and keep moving.